and let's talk about the severe threat today. The red zone stretches from Kentucky all the way down into Texas. Kentucky, it's going to be that third round, really, from today that's going to be the concern for hail, damaging winds, and the tornado threat.
Yeah, we're starting to see some warnings out there already right now. In fact, one coming out of southern Illinois into parts of, I would say, western Kentucky. It's that little box right there. I'll get to that in just a second. But this is a part of an area that we're going to watch later on today, right near that boundary, because moist flow is coming out of the Gulf of Mexico, and we're starting to see the winds aloft increase across that region, becoming more supportive of severe weather hour by hour. And let's go right to that warning now. This is just coming out of Missouri, getting into Illinois for Alexander, Pulaski, and Union counties. This thing is moving at 60 miles per hour. So any storm relative flow out ahead of it means there's going to be some pretty high winds with it. So expect winds up to 60 with maybe some small hail.
Yeah, quarter-size hail is what the warning indicates. And that would cause a lot of damage, but maybe to some of your plants and leaves on the plants starting to bloom, that would be an issue.
Yeah, here's a hail tracker. It's coming right into Tams, just south of Cape Girardeau. We've seen some hail sizes according to the radar up to 1 inch. We haven't yet had confirmation of that, but that would not be surprised. I would not be surprised to see hail that size across the region. Again, here's the region with a lot of dew points coming out of the Gulf of Mexico. That sounds kind of funny. Dew points don't really come out of the Gulf of Mexico.
But the dew points are high because the air is coming out of the Gulf of Mexico.
That's exactly right, Jen. And there's still more upper-level energy yet to come, which is going to help strengthen that low-pressure system and move it along and very close to that boundary. So it's really in that area, right in here, that we're going to have to watch later on today.
I got to interrupt you, though. This is so fascinating that this is what caused the snow in the Colorado Rockies, right? This upper-level system. And that's what's moving over here, and it's going to aid in the development of severe weather across Tennessee, back down into Mississippi, perhaps up to Kentucky.
Where we'll have pretty high amounts of instability here across the region. Not off the charts, but high enough to support severe weather. And just to the north, that's where we have the strongest winds. That's where that upper-level energy is going to be rolling across that region. So the overlap between the strong winds aloft and the instability right in here is where we think the greatest chances, the highest chances for the most severe storms today, which could include the possibility of tornadoes. So let's time it out beginning early this afternoon. We're going to see stuff line up right along that zone. Moving through Nashville, 5, 6 o'clock. If these storms can remain isolated, there's a shot at them producing tornadoes. Again, our TOR-CON is 3 across that region, 30% chance of a tornado within 50 miles of a point. But by about midnight tonight, I think things begin to wind down, and the storm threat for severe, Jen, as you were mentioning in the south, not as high as it is far into the north.
I mean, the timing of day really is important. It comes to overnight, and you lose a lot of the instability that you build from daytime heating.
And there's a TOR-CON, 30% chance of a tornado within 50 miles of a point across parts of northern Mississippi and Alabama and southern.
Yeah, what do you think about Jackson, Mississippi?
The farther south you go, I think the less likely it is you'll see severe weather. It doesn't mean you can't have one. It's just more likely a little farther north.
All right, well, we are going to be watching the radar very, very closely today. And one thing we'll look for with the radar echoes is what's called a hook echo to indicate a possible tornado. So, Greg, let's look at this hook echo and talk about what's happening right here.
Hook echo is a sign that the thunderstorm, the updraft, is rotating, and that is a precursor sometimes to tornadoes. Just because you have a hook echo doesn't mean you have a tornado. But oftentimes we have the hook echo, it's called a wall cloud, which is a little bit of a lowering of the cloud base, and that's some moist air coming into the updraft. So moist and cool air, bringing the LCL, the lifted condensation level, down a little bit. That's part of this whole process.
Sometimes people confuse the wall cloud with the funnel cloud. They're not one and the same.
They are not. And you get the rapid spin of the tornado thanks to the sort of convergence of all this spinning air with the rear flank downdraft and the moist inflow coming in, all combining to produce a very rapid rate of rotation. And inside the tornado itself, very complex dynamics ongoing with sometimes some substance in the middle.
I thought that was a great description. Last time you said sort of about the ice skater, pulling the arms in and really spinning faster, and in a very narrow area, that's what's happening.
Right.
Great, thank you. Maria, over to you. We want everyone